The Christmas rush is pretty much over for me. For the most part, I still have one more thing to send out, and then now it's time for me to start on next year. Hi, and welcome to Quilt Meets World, where we have adventures in piecing and joy. I'm Russ. Come on into my sewing room. There was some craziness that happened this week, and if you didn't expect that from me, you need to be watching the channel more. On Tuesday, we had Thankful Tuesdays at work, or as I like to call it, Tankful Tuesdays, because that's got the proper alliteration. When we were, settling in, they called it a waffle bar. We were really hoping for Waffle House and got highly disappointed when we got down there and it wasn't. But it was still good waffles. We were shuffled into the big event room that they had, and they had a YouTube video playing, and I just wasn't thinking. I started reading the title, and my coworker says, "Well, that was rude and inappropriate." And I was like, "Yeah, I didn't realize what I was saying until after I said it because I didn't read it in advance." If you want to read the title, here it is right here. Kind of inappropriate. Luckily, the other person that was there has a pure and innocent mind, and she didn't catch what was said. But the other exciting thing is I won a door prize. They had drawings happening every 10 minutes. And I think it was near the end. We were just about ready to start packing up, and they called my name. I was like, "Oh, I won." The bag was pretty heavy, and it was pretty cool. I don't have the stuff here to show you because, well, in it was a zip up sweatshirt thingy, which was very heavy. It looked very warm. The problem is it was very small for somebody of my size. I think the size that they included in the thing was a large, which is very disappointing. I could have probably fit into an extra large, but a 2X would have been a lot more comfy. A large definitely wouldn't have been able to fit in. A coworker friend of mine said, I heard him say off to the side, he's like, "Just like I had no shame in asking for somebody else's food that they're leaving on their plate, I have no qualm saying accepting a secondhand gift." And I knew it would fit him, and I knew that he would enjoy it. So I was like, "Here, you can have this." There was a really cool insulated coffee mug in there, which I don't drink coffee, so I'm going to be regifting that to somebody. And then the really cool thing was a battery pack for cell phones. Most of them that you have, it's got the cord that you plug in from, but this one also has the wireless charging capacity on it. So I'm really excited that, and probably going to be bringing that to the retreat because we got to keep our cell phones charged. Not really showing them because they are company branded, and yeah, I'm trying to keep the company stuff out of the videos because that's the right thing to do. But I'm just, very excited that I was able to win something. And again, it was really cool stuff. Too small, don't drink coffee, but yay on the wireless charger. The other thing that's been going on is we have a little bit of a saga with our street lamp that's outside. I know you can't see what I'm pointing to. It has been out for about 2 weeks, and finally my next door neighbor across the street, next door is not technically across the street, but it is as well. He finally called the power company, and they said that the folks that live diagonal to me had asked for it to be turned off because it's keeping them awake at night. And I'm like, seriously, blinds? And also they have about 600 different Christmas display things, most of which light up. So very much Griswold style. So if anything is keeping them awake, it's probably that, not the street light, which is kind of pointing out. Neighbor across the street basically said, we got to get the other 3 of us. So him, me, and my next door neighbor that all share that light pole to our houses to call somebody at the power company and just basically say, hey, we all want it back on. Don't know why you turned it off, because you didn't get a quorum to get it turned off. I couldn't call on Thursday because things were a little hectic at work, but with me being off on Friday, I was able to give him a call, and they came out. Let's see, I called about 10 o'clock, 10:15, and they came out at lunchtime and got the little bucket truck and started connecting it back. Apparently, one of the folks that lived in the house that had it turned off came out and started fussing at them, not wanting it to be turned back on. But Friday night, the light was on. Then yesterday, I went out to check my mail and the light was off. And I was like really confused, like, why is it back off? Look back in the camera footage because I have a driveway camera, and the power company did not come back out. So I don't know if they just didn't connect it back properly, or if like something else happened to the light. It's an LED, so I can't see it burning out, and it's brand new. Like, it got replaced last year with the LEDs. And yeah, the whole leaving in the dark and it's still dark because of the lack of a light pole feels kind of dangerous, especially last night. I think it was like 6:15, 6:30. Had a family walking their puppy dogs. It was the mom, the young daughter, and their two puppy dogs, because the dad/husband broke his leg like a week and a half ago. And yeah, can't exactly walk around the neighborhood. He should get a scooter. I need to tell him he needs to get a scooter so he can walk with him. But first of all, I'm like, the child, while she's usually really good, if it's dark, people even driving with their headlights on may not see fast enough. And two, doggos are kind of unexpected when they want to run around, so you got to keep it safe for everybody. But hopefully we will be able to get a hold to the power guy tomorrow and say, hey, can you guys figure out what happened? So yeah, we want the light back on. And then with lights, I found out that my walkway lights that are supposed to be not solar powered, solar lit. When the sun goes down, they turn on. They stopped turning off. So I've got to get that resolved. I'm assuming that if I just unplug them and plug them back in, they'll stay lit, which means I'm just going to, instead of using them as a solar setting, I've got a smart plug that I will do so that they come on at the same time as the rest of the lights on the house. Why I didn't think about doing that in the first place, I don't know, but now I did. The fur kids have had a quiet week. Percy's been pretty chill. Riley's been pretty chill. I've spent a lot of the evenings in here, so I didn't get a bunch of pictures of them cuddling on the couch, even though they've been doing that more and more. Sewing room stuff has been very exciting. Friday night, I got to celebrate with my friend Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie Stitches. It was her birthday. We had she had me, Shannon from Slate Arts, Stephen and Walter from Bland Designs and Idiot Quilter, and her husband on her channel, just celebrating her birthday. It was asked, and we found out that she's now 30. She was 29 for a few years, but she's decided to finally upgrade to 30, which, not arguing with her. That's a great age. But it was a lot of fun, and we got to chat with some people. There was a couple of giveaways, which were pretty cool. And we all answered questions that y'all had. And she complained, and I'm using that in the lightest terms, that her cheeks hurt because she was laughing too much. So if that's the worst thing that happens, that's the best thing that can happen. I've also managed to get the Multiverse quilt done. I'm hoping to have, well, actually, no, I'm not going to have pictures of it today because they're not going to get posted until later tonight. I do have a work in progress picture that I will have in Scenes from the Week. It doesn't have the borders in that picture, but there's that. If you follow me on Instagram, which I kind of exist on Instagram, I got to remember to start posting more. I posted a video of the quilting happening. I need to get the binding on, or maybe I'll have the binding on by the time that this is published. That's one of the things I'm working on today. It should go by pretty quickly because it's just all machine stuff and it's all straight stuff. So straight stuff moves a lot faster than curved stuff. But it came up gorgeous. I got to show it at Saturday Sampler for Show and Tell, and everybody just loved it. The only thing that came close to offensive was somebody asked if the semicircles were pieced or if they were part of a panel or fabric line or something like that. And I was like, I'm sure you know me better that I would actually do the proper piecing for this. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. I'm happy that it's finished, and I need to get it to the person that it is being made for. On Saturday morning, on my live for 11Zs, I sewed up clue 5 of Carnival, Cotton Cuts Carnival Puzzle Mystery Quilt. There was a point in there that I was extremely confused because I chain pieced all of the half square triangles. I had organized them into the proper pairings beforehand so that when I was live, I can just sew through. That's what I do when we sew with the group on Stephanie's channel. And as I'm going through, I had one triangle that was just one side. And I was very confused because that shouldn't happen. And 2, I had the right number of pieces ending, which means everything else was sewed in pairs except for that one. And I searched around and couldn't find it at first. I'm like, okay, I'll figure that out later. After the live, I started searching again, and somehow it was underneath my sewing machine table. I don't know how it got there. If I had a second camera, I probably would have seen what happened, but who knows? It was just slightly strange and amusing and stuff. But I did get, and I'm sure if other people were watching, if I had the other camera, they would have said, "Hey, Russ, you missed something," and either would have seen how it all. But second camera is besides the point. This is clue 5A. There was 2 of them, and I'm loving these fabrics. And then as I was sewing clue 5B, this little gem was found. I know Cotton Cuts does all of their stuff as die cut. So the fact that I have a random full page octopus that's properly centered just shocked me. So I said, I can't put clue 5B together until I know how it's going to go into the quilt, because I want to make sure that it is facing the proper direction so he can have, the proper view of everything. So this is half of clue 5B. I'm sorry, it goes this way, according to the picture. And then this is the bottom third. And when I know how Mr. Octopus is going to be put in, these are going to be flanking it and put it together. So I just need to know at some point in the future with the octopus to figure out what direction it's going to go. And then, when it's done, I will be able to point out, you see that octopus, you see how he's all right. That's just so perfect. So yeah, sometimes you get real gems in random cutting. And then Saturday evening, I was on live with Stephanie of Quilting with Stephanie's Stitches. We sewed up a table runner that we got in our Fort Worth Fabric Studios October subscription box. It was a fun project. It was kind of amusing because we both couldn't find our patterns. Um, Still have no idea where they are, but we managed to get our fabric. We were able to purchase a copy of the pattern online so that we still had it and sew it up. It was a very quick sew, and it was a very quick cut. There's 3 pieces to each block. There's 5 different fabrics. So if you just stack all 5 together and run your rotary cutter through, I think it took me 2 minutes to cut. And it took us 30 minutes to sew, and we were chatting away during the entire time. So if you need anything for a last minute gift and stuff, this is a perfect pattern. Um, I'll have a link to the pattern below just so that everybody, if you're interested in, can go to Stephanie's channel if you want to sew with somebody, because we had fun with it. I did have a mild gap as I was showing, and I was like, I've got 2 fabrics touching that are the same color, or I'm sorry, the same fabric. It's not just the same color. So I just unsewed it, flipped it, sewed it back in, and everything was perfectly fine. So yeah, if you need a quick gift, the other thing that I was reading at the bottom of it is said if you do this many of them, you can have a really cool bed runner. And I was like, I wonder how much extra fabric I have from my socialites quilt. Do I want a bed runner to go with it? Part of me is saying yes, and then there's another part of me that's just slapping me upside the head. So we will see what I end up doing with that. Now for some exciting news. My friend Sean of The Guy Who Sews is doing another trunk show this year. He is going to premiere it on December 23rd, or as I prefer to call it, Christmas Adam, at 10 a.m. So I am putting a link in the video notes as well below. But go and subscribe to him if you're not already, and join us this coming Saturday for his trunk show. He will have himself and 24 other content creators, including me, showing off our favorite quilts. If you can guess which one is mine, that is going to be pretty cool, but you might not be able to figure it out easily. But you will find out definitely during his event. So come join us. I'll be in the chat as he's premiering it, and we can have a fun time. With Christmas a week away and the retreat a week and a half away, I'm going to keep things pretty light for my plans this week. The first thing that I need to do is get the Multiverse quilt sent out. that should happen Monday after work, and it's only going one state away, so hopefully FedEx can get it there pretty quickly. I did warn the recipient that something's coming, so that is going to be pretty fun. Doesn't know what's happening, but that's enough. The next thing I need to do is start preparing for the retreat. I've been asked many times, have I started packing? Have I started packing? Have I started packing? And in the back of my head, I'm just like, all I need to do is pack my fabric that I'm going to be working on and patterns and my sewing machine, right? And then I started, and then my clothes. And I can't pack my clothes until like the day before because, I need to wear clothes. And then I was like, wait a second, I need to get, my travel kit, which I haven't used since pre-pandemic. I did take one class. Yeah, but that was it. It was a simple class. So I don't even think I even needed most of my tools. Because we were supposed to bring like the binding strips already pre-made and all that. So it was basically, I didn't need to bring anything for it, but I need to go and make sure that I have all the tools that I need. Stephanie was kind enough to send a list of this is the stuff that you should bring. And yeah, I just need to make sure that I have everything that's on the list. Some of the stuff I think I've actually ordered from her as well. But either way, I'll have what I need. And if I end up forgetting something, we are going to a quilt shop on Friday. So I can maybe grab what I need from that. And then also, I only live an hour from the retreat center. So if push comes to shove, I can just take a 2-hour field trip to run home, get yelled at by Percy, and get back to the retreat center with whatever I was forgetting because I know where everything is in the house. I also do have some pretty awesome neighbors that if I told them exactly where it was, they'd probably meet me halfway. But again, I don't plan on forgetting anything. And if I do, like I said, we've got, and I'm sure there's plenty of people at retreat that may have extras of everything in case I forget something and I just need to, I don't know, use a bigger ruler to cut something, or if I need to do something like if I forget my seam ripper somehow, I'm sure somebody's going to have a seam ripper. I'm sure there's going to be enough tools among everybody that can borrow something. So I'm not going to be planning to do really much sewing. I will be doing some sewing. I just haven't figured out what I'm going to plan. With the Christmas rush behind me, I'm just going to take it as easy as I can for a bit. So that's going to be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you want, please consider liking the video and subscribing to my channel. It doesn't cost you anything, but it really helps the channel grow and it lets YouTube know that you like me. If you ring the little bell icon next to the subscribe button, it will notify you when I go live on Saturday mornings and when I publish new videos like my weekly vlog and, every day of Vlogmas every morning. I hope you have a great rest of your day and an awesome week. Until next time, stay happy and keep stitching.